transitioning to another topic in the NBA, it's interesting. Kevin Durant made some interesting comments yesterday in response to an Instagram comment claiming that the Bucks and the Suns series is the best finals of all time. Kevin Durant came in and said, actually, peep for a second, the 2017 finals when his Golden State Warriors beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 games was actually a better finals, according to Kevin Durant. Thought that the matchups were even. So then it made me think about, okay, well, obviously that wasn't the greatest finals. This Bucks-Suns finals, as intriguing as it is, this isn't the best NBA finals of all time either. What are my top 3 NBA final series? Now, again, I completely understand that it's subjective. It's probably biased. People may think it's erroneous or flawed or biased, whatever, but the bottom line is when you think about the greatest NBA final series, what do they all have? Well, there are a number of consistent themes, number of consistent elements and traits. You've got intrigue, you've got rivalries, you've got storylines and narratives, you've got star power. And were they an epic and long series? That's the reality. The best finals are the ones that have typically gone 7 games. And so with that being said, again, there are a lot of good options you can go with. There's so many Lakers-Celtics rivalries and NBA Finals matchups in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s that you could go to. The Lakers and the Knicks and then in 1970, what was a tremendous NBA Finals with Walt Frazier and Willis Reed coming back to win Game 7. That was tremendous. You could go to MJ and the Bulls with some big-time NBA Finals performances against the Suns, against the Jazz, the Pistons and the Lakers. There are a bunch of different NBA Finals that were great. There's no question about it. But to me, these are my 3 top NBA Finals series of all time. So at number 1, no one talks about this. No one talks about this NBA Finals. It did not take place that long ago. 2010 between the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers was one of the greatest. In my mind, it's number 3 for the greatest NBA Finals series of all time. Not only was this an NBA Finals that lasted 7 games, 2 of the most storied franchises in NBA Finals history, Boston and LA, at the heat of their rivalry, at the peak of their rivalry, there was true animosity and hatred that was felt between the Boston Celtics and the Lakers. The Lakers now look at the Boston Celtics and they kind of dismiss them because it's not the same. But back then you had the Celtics coming off an NBA title over the Lakers in 2008. So the storyline, could Kobe get over the hurdle, get over the hump? It's Kobe and Pau. It's the Boston Celtics big 4 really at the time with Pierce, KG, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo. And then you look at the intricacies of each game. A younger Doc Rivers. You got Phil Jackson, Staples Center, TD Garden. Both teams split the first 4 games. It's 2-2. Game 5 at TD Garden, Kobe drops 36. Paul Pierce in a duel drops 35. You got Dwayne Wade in the stands shaking his head at some of the shots that Kobe's hitting from downtown. Lakers come back, blow out the Celtics in Game 6. You force a Game 7 at home in LA, a Game 7 between the Celtics and the Lakers. It's an absolute grudge match. It's grueling. It's a dogfight. They're bludgeoning one another. The score is 57-53 going into the 4th quarter. And a lot of it is defense. It's nerves. It's palpable. The tension in the arena is incredible. The Celtics led by 13 points midway through the 3rd quarter. And again, as I said, going into the 4th quarter, it's a 4-point game, 57-53. And the Lakers find a way to prevail at home. Kobe shot it terribly, playing with a broken finger, making no excuses. And the hero for the Lakers, the unsung hero, Sasha Vujacic, goes to the free throw line and clinches and ices the NBA Finals. He doesn't play a minute of the game, doesn't play a second of the game. Phil Jackson throws him in there, 81-79, 11.7 seconds left. Phil Jackson throws Sasha Vujacic into the game for the first time in Game 7 because he knows he's going to be immediately fouled. He goes to the free throw line, ices 2 free throws, and that's the NBA title. The 16th title for the Lakers, the first over the Celtics in practically 30 years. That finals was an absolute classic. That's number 3. At number 2, I touched on it earlier. The Miami Heat and the San Antonio Spurs in 2013. First of all, you've got the young guns or the younger guns trying to repeat in Miami. Dwayne Wade, LeBron, Chris Bosh. Obviously, you've got the veteran Spurs with Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, a younger stallion in Kawhi Leonard. And Game 1, the tone of the game was set in Game 1 of the series. You had Tony Parker dribbling the basketball, shot clock winding down. He's on his knees. He pump fakes, step through LeBron, throws up a bank shot with under 10 seconds to go to give the Spurs a 92-88 game 1 victory. And then obviously you fast forward to Game 6, the Spurs win Game 5. And at the time, it was a 2-3-2 format. Again, the San Antonio Spurs seeking their 5th NBA title. LeBron seeking his 2nd NBA title to repeat for the Heat. And Game 6 was an all-time classic. Spurs had the game in their hands. LeBron off the curl misses the 3. Tim Duncan's on the bench. Popovich had Duncan on the bench. Chris Bosh with the offensive rebound. Kicks it back out to a backpedaling Ray Allen in the corner. Hoists up a 3-pointer. It's nothing but net. Sends the game into overtime. The Heat survive in OT. And then in Game 7, you got LeBron, who pours in 37 points, including a clutch jumper on Kawhi. And he locks up the NBA championship in 7 games. Heartbreaking loss for the San Antonio Spurs. Obviously, it sets up the storyline going into 2014, when then it was the Spurs that exacted some revenge. But those 2013 finals, to me, was an all-time classic. Again, you think about the star power, the history, the intrigue, the compellingness of each matchup. And it had everything. I mean, the shot in Game 6 might have been the greatest shot in NBA Finals history. That Ray Allen 3-pointer may have very well been the greatest shot in NBA Finals history. So you've got that working on your side. So that's number 2. And at number 1, I think I'd be hard-pressed to go in any other direction. The 2016 finals between the Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. Now, I know that technically only one game in this series was actually in single digits. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that in this 7-game series, only one game, the final score was within single digits. That was Game 7. But you think about star power. You think about history. A franchise-altering and defining moment. You got the Cavaliers and LeBron James trying to deliver on his promise. Cleveland's never won a finals, an NBA championship in their franchise's existence. LeBron James, obviously, the turmoil that came after he departed from Cleveland the first time. He returned in 2014 or 2015, rather, when the Warriors won the NBA Finals over the Cavs. LeBron wasn't playing with Kyrie or Kevin Love. Now they've got a healthy and loaded team. You got the Warriors that are shattering records in the regular season, dubbed the greatest regular season, the greatest team in NBA history, 73-9, the best record in the NBA. You got Steph Curry, who's the unanimous league MVP, back-to-back league MVP, the first unanimous MVP in NBA history. And you've got the strength in numbers going up against the Land and the Cavaliers. Again, round 2. The second matchup was just absolutely sensational. You've got Draymond Green, who gets suspended in Game 4. I still believe that the Golden State Warriors would have won the NBA Finals had Draymond Green not gone and suspended for Game 5. It is what it is. You've got LeBron and Kyrie, who both dropped 41 points in Game 5 on the road. One of the greatest road performances that we've ever seen. They combined for 82 points. And then obviously Game 7 is on the road. Oracle Arena is roaring. You have LeBron's famous chase down block, the greatest block in NBA history. You've got the shot by Kyrie, one of the clutchest shots in NBA Finals history over Steph to give the Cavs a 3-point lead, 92-89. And you've got the history. You've got the moment. You've got the crying, LeBron delivering, Kyrie delivering, Kevin Love delivering. And it was just an absolutely sensational finals. I mean, the Cavs came back from 3-1 down. No team in NBA Finals history had ever come back from 3-1 down. And here they do it. And it's special. And it's those moments that you look back and you say, that's what kind of encapsulates a player's career, franchise's history with plays like that. And I was just impressed. And to me, that to me is the greatest NBA Finals series up to this point. Now, again, the Bucks Suns is a great NBA Finals. Don't want to take away from that at all. It's a great NBA Finals, but there needs to be added layers for it to crack into the top 3, top 5, top 10, just the greatest of all time ever.